What's up, people? Oh, I forgot to change my little logo there. What's today? Today's Thursday. Okay, there we go. What's up? It's good to see everybody. Um, I wanted to first say I've been busy this week. I put up some clips from other videos as well as a couple of new things. I don't know, I'm just trying random stuff. So I want you to go, look for these thumbnails. This one is full of stories about how embarrassing my daughter was at the age of 2 and 3. And then this one, which talks about how, my thoughts on this whole situation about Diddy and Young Miami and women who want to run around sticking their finger out, talking about I'm a wife. And then this one is the one that went up this morning, which talks about the difference between talking to and actually dating someone, which a lot of people really seem to be confused about what that means and what the parameters are and the boundaries and expectations that should be associated with that level of involvement with someone. So I invite you to go to the channel and take a look at any of those videos and let me know what you think. All right. So today's show is our weekly relationship advice live stream where people send in letters in advance, but it is augmented by the $10 per question live advice request show. I mean, I started doing this about once a month or so because people seem to want it. But you would send in your money by CashApp or using Superchat feature on YouTube. Either one, the funds must be in U.S. dollars. That's 10 U.S. dollars, and then I'll take your question. We'll put it on. Oh my God! Look who's here. I'll put your question across the screen if you type it, or if you call in, we can, just put you on the air. You will not be shown. Your face will not be shown. Only your voice. Okay, so just everybody calm down. If you're like, I don't want to be on camera, you won't be on camera. So you just type your question in, and this is the process. Wait, did I upload those slides? I sure didn't. Well, I'll do that in a minute. We'll take a little break later, and I'll do that. So those are the things that we're going to be doing. Two things tonight. We're going to read the questions that were already submitted, and if you have a question, you'll get to ask your question as well for $10 per question. So let's get started. This looks pretty thick for 25 questions, so that means this speaker was long-winded. Okay. Question number 1. This is a female in the 42 to 49 age group from Seven Oaks in Kent, in the UK. The female in question is 50 to 56. Summary of issue. I have a friend living with me during a separation. A very long time friend of mine has separated from her husband and left the marital home. She was a stay-at-home mom for 20 plus years. She has children between the ages of early teens and early 20s. She has nothing. There's no savings, no job, no income, besides a small amount of UC. What's that? Universal something, I'm assuming. She does have the right to half the family home when she divorces. She had to leave because the arguments were awful and he refused to leave the house. I have a spare back room where she's been staying in for the last few months. I don't ask for anything in return. She goes over and visits her children and makes dinner. One of her kids, I think, is, I don't know what this is, ND, I don't know what that means, and in extreme stress over her leaving and having to stay with the father. He's harming himself physically. A prime source of their arguments was her husband felt that she should have gone back to work a long time ago. He's critical, puts her down, criticizes the kids, etc. I love her dearly, but over the last couple of months, I'm starting to question her priorities. Regarding leaving, there wasn't much of an alternative. The arguments involved physical situations. She's been to Women's Aid, and they suggested she find an alternative to a home in a domestic abuse shelter, so that's why she's with me. Ray Housing, she's on various housing registers. However, she does have shelter with me, and her children do too at home, so she doesn't count as an emergency. Well, yeah, because if you're on the street, that's an emergency. It's all a bit of a mess, and she's fallen through the cracks. I've recently started saying that I think she needs to call some solicitors, investigate legal aid, and get the ball rolling. She's pinning her hopes on social housing, but as I said above, I know she won't be a priority. So I have said I think you're going to end up having to privately rent, and therefore you need to find some work. And she needs a fairly large place for her and those children. I say these things and she will nod and agree, and then later I'll find her, I don't know, researching the history of female engineers or something. I have wondered if she's undiagnosed ADHD. She's a lovely person, she's easy to live with and kind, and that's what's making this so hard. She's done very little in terms of finding work. She gets distracted easily, has done nothing towards figuring out how to initiate a divorce, and therefore have access to shared assets. She spends time meditating. She's on a whole day long meditation thing this weekend. I've never had a bad word to say to her before, but at the moment I'm finding myself angry. Like I need to shake her to come to her senses. Deb, I don't want to ruin a friendship, but how do I approach this? I really feel she needs to wake up and act to get herself financially stable so she can provide an income, a home rather, for her kids. Oh, that's the end. Um, this is up to you. You can tell her, I'm prepared to host you for another 90 days. After that, you need to have some things in place because you need to move out. You need to start the life that that you're going to have by yourself as a single person. And so I need you to start making some moves. What's the first thing that you think you should do? If you don't know, then I'm going to give you a list of things that you need to do. And I expect you to do them because at the end of the night, next 90 days, you need to be up out of here. I don't want to ruin our friendship. I don't want to have to give you eviction papers, but I do need to see that you're making an effort to move your life along. Right now, I'm not seeing that. And that's what you have to tell her. And you don't have to be mean about it. I mean, it's a matter of fact. She's by not making any moves at all, she's just letting her husband win. He has all the money. She has none. She has nothing. And she seems to be okay with that because see, you're stepping in like a codependent person to fill in the blanks. You're doing the same role in her life that her husband used to do, which is take care of her. Now, I can understand, you want to be there for your friends. And sometimes, when people first start going through those kind of dramas, they're a bit shell shocked. They might even have officially be diagnosed with some PTSD and depression. But, after a couple of months now, she's doing is going meditate in the bushes and stuff. No, no, you got to get out of my house. You're going to do something, meditate your way into a resume or figure out what you can do or go do something with yourself. But yeah, you have to put some boundaries and parameters around and set up an end game because right now it's just open ended. You haven't told her when she's gonna have to get out. There's no urgency to the situation. You just been kind of hinting around, but you're not really saying nothing definitive. So she's just gonna milk it as long as she can. That's on you though, girlfriend. You need to do something different. Oh wait, I think I went one letter too long. Okay, I sure did. Well, it's good to see you, Pablo. I swear. It's like people just disappeared. We don't see you no more. Question number 2. This is a female, 22 to 27, from Portsmouth in the UK also. Sorry, issue. My boyfriend doesn't seem as interested anymore. Do you think I'm misreading things? Hi, Deb. This is my first time sending an advice letter to anyone, so bear with me, please. It may be long-winded, but I'm hoping for some advice and would really appreciate it and need to explain the situation in full. Oh, God. That means she's going to write a damn novel. Let me see how long is this nonsense. So, I'll be skimming people's stuff and trying to summarize. Okay, so they've been seeing each other for a year. They met online. They both have kids. It's her first relationship since separating from her ex 3 years ago. Things moved quickly. He was head over heels with him in a month or so. He said he felt the same. We'd see each other whenever we had free time and message and call all the time. I felt like we had a closeness and a connection. My issue is that things seem to dramatically change over the last 6 months or so. We'd often contact each other in the morning, afternoon, early evening before bed. Okay, that's just too much. Even if the messages were fairly brief, to check in on each other and share things about our day. We call each other regularly throughout the week, even with just a quick 5 minute call, so we could catch up. That changed about 6 months ago, and now he messages maybe once a day. Often I don't get a reply for 24 hours or more. When we had disagreements, he'll go completely silent for days. The last part I find particularly difficult, as I appreciate that we all work through things differently. The silent treatment can feel like I'm being punished. The thing is, I can see he's online regularly on WhatsApp, so it feels hurtful that my messages go ignored for so long. I certainly don't expect quick replies. He has a job and a little boy, and I also have a life. But am I overreacting to feel like there's a lack of respect? Respect. Let me consider that. I try to always reply as soon as I can. It may be an hour or two sometimes, but never really more than that. And I certainly don't ignore messages if I have time to check my phone. It's starting to have a really negative effect on me. I'm obviously wondering whether he's not as interested. He's completely bored or worse. It feels like whatever connection we have when we're together suddenly washes away over the following days as he is just really absent. I've approached it a number of times now in different ways. I've said I really miss having that contact. I've asked if he just prefers to have less contact, if he's losing interest maybe. But he always just says, sorry, I've just been busy. I'll try harder to get in touch more. What do you think is going on? I would really appreciate some advice if possible. See, the thing about women, hey, Ash, Maya, the thing about women is y'all want to hear with words what a man is thinking or feeling. And I keep telling you, I've been saying this for 20 something years. Men speak in action. They speak in action. I mean, some of them, they have a really good command of the words and stuff, but they're so few and far between. The majority of men speak in action. So all you have to do if you want to know what he's thinking, watch what he's doing. Watch what he's not doing. That will tell you everything that you need to know. There's no need to ask all these questions and be like, well, are you this and are you that? You already know the answer to those questions. You're just trying to play dense. So let me break it down for you. Okay, so you have a man who was paying all this attention and was like all head over heels, and he was just all, up in your face all the time. And then it's 6 months. Let's see. How long did you say you were seeing each other? Oh, almost a year. Okay, so if it's almost a year, that means this change has happened in 6 months. So that means you had 6 months of a good thing, and then now the last 6 months have been like this. What that tells you, the moment that he started changing and pulling back, that was when you were supposed to pull back. The number one thing that you're supposed to do in a relationship with a man is match energy. He pulls back, you pull back. He comes close, you come close. He dips and dabs, you dip and dab. That's how it is. You don't invest any more time, energy, or emotion, or any kind of consideration, thought, or anything else more than he does. Why is that necessary? Because most of the women tend to get their emotions involved. Exactly. Women get their emotions involved way too deep and way too hard for just about any guy that they, be around too much. And it really shouldn't be like that, especially at your age. You should have better control of your emotions than that. Just because you met some dude online and he's like, well, I feel head over heels and all this whole stuff here. I mean, what are you basing that on when you barely knew the man? You move too fast. And so this is the end result. Everything that burns hot burns out. You have to like pace relationships. You have to pace men. You can't let them run the pace of the relationship because they don't really know how. They're gonna go whole hog, and then after that, they find out everything they need to know about you, and all the stuff that would make them want to stay interested in you. It's over and done with in just a few months to a year, and that's what you did. So I'm gonna say this. I know you don't want to hear this. I know it's gonna hurt your feelings, but dude is on his way out. What he's doing is um, he wants you to get a clue that it's not the same. He doesn't feel the same, and you don't need to ask him. You don't need his permission. You don't need his buy-in. What you're supposed to do, what he's looking for you to do, so he can have respect for you and say, I've noticed that the first 6 months were great, and then around that 6 month mark, your ass started changing. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to dip out because this is not the kind of relationship I want to be bothered with. I don't want no excuses. I want a man who's 100% 10% in, which is not you. And since we're not married, we don't really owe each other any kind of obligation or anything. So I'm going to, leave you alone. It's been a wonderful 6 months. Enjoy the rest of your life. And then that's it. That's all you have to do. It's not, I mean, women don't want to do it because, oh, that's hard. But I love it though. But, I really want to be with him. Can't we fix it? This, that? You want to go through all them changes. You just dating the dude and you haven't been dating for a whole year yet. You're going too much. Just let him go on about his business. Oh, no. Oh, no. The giggly one has showed up. Oh, Leandra's here. I just noticed your name over there. Oh, okay. I mean, like I said earlier, a lot of you missed it. I've been putting up a whole bunch of shorts. So, some of the stuff, I'm sure a lot of stuff we talk about today is going to have been addressed. And these all went up just within the last week. So, please go and take a look, take a listen to those new ones, and let me know what you think. Okay, let's move on. Question number 3. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Latino from Vacaville, California. The female in question is the same age, 22 to 27, and she's white. Summary of issue. I refused to let my girlfriend go through my phone, and she got mad. Even though I was nothing but loving and caring and supportive in all aspects of her life. Was I wrong? No. But let's see how this went down. This is interesting. I'm male and I'm 26 and she's 27. Dad, my girl, oh, so she's older than you. My girlfriend always asked to go through my phone, but this time I refused. She got mad and stormed off. I tried following her to make sure she got home safe, but she kept changing routes, so I got the hint and left her ass alone. Am I in the wrong here? What would you do if your partner kept asking to see your phone and refused to understand your boundaries? Well, they would have never saw my phone the first time. That's where you messed up. You let her get used to this kind of thing, thinking she had some kind of control and she was running you and that she had the upper hand. She gonna be monitoring you like you're a dog or something on a leash. And so then finally you stood up to her, and now she's mad about it because things have changed. The power dynamic has changed. And when you said no, then she lost power. So what I'm gonna tell you is, in the future, don't you ever let no woman go through your phone. She'll need to go through your phone, your wallet, your drawers, your closet. Nothing in your house or your personage or your property needs to be run through by some random woman that you dating. Even wives don't do that because they're not looking like that because you guys made a different level of commitment to each other. And most of the stuff that you got to get is together anyway. So there's no need for all that. But you just got a raggedy ass girlfriend and you just letting her just run all in your stuff like that. What you doing that for? What's the purpose of that? What's the goal here? That's what I would have asked her. And then when she would have said, well, I just want to know. I said, well, people in hell want ice water too, and they ain't getting that, and you ain't getting to look through my shit. The end. That's all you had to tell her, dude. You need, to kind of buck up here. Let's get some testosterone flowing in our veins here. Start telling these broads, no, we ain't doing that. I don't know who the fuck you think you are and who you was dating before that let you run over them like that, but that ain't happening over here. If that's a problem, there's the door. Please help yourself to go through it. Close it behind you. I'll come over there and lock it in a minute. Oh, you've been loving the shorts? Thanks, Maya. Yeah, I feel like, sometimes it's a bit much because these videos are long. People be like, oh, I can't last this long. So breaking it up into little segments, especially if it's a subject that really is pertinent to them, I think it's going to really work better. All right, let's move on to question number 4. We got 25 questions, and tonight is the call-in advice show. So if anybody has this, we try to do this on the third Thursday of every month. So if somebody's got a question, you want to get your answer tonight. Something coming up this weekend, the holiday weekend or something, a trip planned with some dubious things going on with your boo thing, then you're gonna pay $10 on Cash App, or it's /Debsterism. I guess I should have. Oh, where's Lady Boss is not here. Okay. Anyway, $ Debsterism, the same as on the bottom of the screen here, is my Cash App handle. And you pay $10, or you can do it through YouTube, the Super Chat. Either way, and let me know that you have a question. And if you want to call in, rather you can do that, or you can, just type it up in here, and I'll put it across the screen. Yes. Yes, I thought I was going to catch heat for that, but a lot of people are like, yo, you know what? You're right. I was like, okay, that works. Question number 4. This is a young lady in the 35 to 41 age group from San Jose, California. Summary issue. I want to talk about dating in 2024. Okay, well, you just talk on. I split up with my partner of 11 years approximately 2 months ago. I disconnected from the relationship emotionally, even though I disconnected from the relationship emotionally though years ago. Last year, he messaged a family friend to arrange to do the deed. I forgave and tried to move on, but I have been so unhappy ever since. Anyway, Friday night I went out for a drink with my parents. Immediately when I walked in, I spotted this guy who I found really attractive. He then moved and sat opposite me, and when I went to the bar, I tried to get some eye contact, which I did. When his friend went to the bathroom, I went and spoke to him and asked if his friend was single, etc. Turns out he was, and he said he would go speak to him. We ended up meeting outside and having a chat for about 15 minutes. He asked if I wanted to go for a drink sometime, and I said, sure. We hugged, and he kissed me on the cheek, and we ended up having a little kiss. Okay. So you met this guy exactly like 87 seconds ago, and you were already in a lip lock. Okay. We ended up meeting, oh, I'm sorry. We exchanged numbers, etc. He messaged me that night saying we should go for a drink. Then yesterday he asked me when I'm free, and I told him. He then messaged later saying he was super busy and would reply, but he didn't. Debbie hasn't messaged me at all today, so I sent him one saying, hope your weekend has been okay. When are you free next? And he has left me on read. Both of us have recently broken up with partners and moved back into our family homes. Am I just overthinking this? What could be the reason he changed? Help. Okay, wait a minute. You just met the guy like last night. Okay, that night, and then yesterday he said when you're free, he'll be busy. So he hasn't messaged me today. Okay, so we're talking like the next day. And you fretting all of this just because he had to text you back and like instantly the next day? Are you kidding me? What's wrong with you? You know, people do have a life. They have responsibilities, obligations, they have jobs, they have things to do. He moved in with his parents. Most likely his parents are older. He might need to be helping them do something. There's all kinds of stuff that could be going on with this man. Don't have nothing to do with some other woman. And maybe he might want to have like a depressed moment about the loss of his relationship. You don't know what's going on with him, but somehow you just gonna take it personally and don't have shit else going on in your life to rather than write an advice columnist because a man that you just met 24 hours ago has not texted you today. Woo! You better hope he don't. Yeah, he don't hope he don't pick up on this because he is gonna like run from you because you were like an octopus already, and he hasn't even done anything. But this is kissing some man that you just met, like I said, like minutes ago. What is that? Why would you do that? Do you understand that every action that you do around a man, he's going to interpret it in a way that means something? He's going to make a judgment about you. He's going to be looking at how you conduct yourself. He's going to be assessing your morals and your values. He's basically giving you a whole test. And you didn't pass. You didn't pass. So, a lot of girls are like, well, it's the modern age, and I go after what I want, all this other stuff. I'm just saying this. I'm gonna say this. That might be true. You know what I mean? That's great. I just don't even know I'm not gonna argue with you about that. All I'm gonna tell you is that men have not changed since 12 BC, as far as their views of what they want to be around as far as a woman goes. It ain't changed ever. They don't want someone who they feel is a threat to their emotional security, which someone who would be in a lip lock with a dude she just met is. Am I saying that you are a threat? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's how he's going to perceive you because you don't have any boundaries. You don't have any value. You don't place much value on yourself when you go around just flip flopping with various dudes that easy. Okay, it sends a message. I hate to. I know these girls be like they get upset. Well, you're so old fashioned. I see that's too. I don't know what that was all about either. But you just can't conduct yourself like that. Even if you waited until the first date you went out with them, that might be more acceptable because it would have shown some kind of restraint. But you just don't have any. And don't you think a guy would find that kind of threatening? I mean, here is they want a woman who's like a little bit of a challenge for them, and there's a lot of challenge for other people. But when you do that, he doesn't know where you stand. Are you gonna be just like that? He takes you out somewhere on the night, you see a guy who's cute, and the next thing you know, you in the corner in the dark by the restrooms, in a lip lock with a dude. I mean, that's what he. I know it may sound silly, but that's the way that dudes are gonna think about you. You need to stop this. You need to stop this. Don't ever do that again. I don't care how cute he is or how good you connect. You keep your lips to yourself. You don't let him feel on your body, and you don't feel on his. You don't have any sexually suggestive conversations. You don't do anything like that. You keep it all above board and PG. You got me? That's how you do. That's how you get to know a man. And once you make a fucked up first impression like that, where he puts you in the category of being a trollop, you ain't never getting out. The most that you could be at that after that is a booty call, a FWB. You never gonna make it to girlfriend status. And if you do, if he does call you girlfriend, you're gonna always be like, oh, this relationship, he doesn't really pay attention to me. He just, I don't know what's going on. You always gonna have some complaints because he's not gonna be all in because he lost respect from you from the very first day. Don't do this again. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I hope I explained that. I know I used a whole bunch of words. Yeah, girl. Not only they got sores on their mouths and sores on their lips, and their dental hygiene will have your gums rotted. Because people ain't been to the dentist since 1970, and they don't floss and they brush maybe once every day, once or every 2 days, something like that. And then you gonna go lip locking with them? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. He was like, but I'm just saying that's where I would go with it. Okay, so let me uh go to the next one. Question number 5. This is a young lady in the 20 to 34 age group from Atlanta metro area. It says, "Sir, issue. Why do some men make comments like this? I'm new to dating again. I need some help." Okay, remember this is the $10 advice show. So anybody got a question you want me to answer, it's $10, and I give you an answer right now today. These people wrote in advance, so that's why I'm answering their questions first. Okay, so she want to know why dudes make comments like this. I would say I'm an attractive lady, and now that I'm recently single, I'm dating again after my long-term relationship of 7 years ended. I would say I'm on the hotter side, but I definitely don't post exposing photos. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I definitely love getting ready, and I do full glam, makeup, hair, outfit. It's just something I've enjoyed doing since I was a little girl. However, I've come across some guys who make comments like this: "You're trouble, aren't you? You're stupid, aren't you? I can tell it. I can't tell if you're an angel or trouble." Okay, you're single? Let me take you on a date so I can uncover the red flags. See, that's nagging shit. Is that your devil drink you're drinking? Because I was drinking a red drink on a date. Wow. I could say some rude things, but I'm just gonna not do that. Are these men I should avoid? Absolutely. Are they insecure? Totally. Are they trying to upset me? Yes, because they feel like they're trying to do these little put downs because they feel like if you start downing yourself, you'll be easier for them to control and manipulate. Any wise advice here? Okay, I'm new to dating again, which is why I'm asking. I haven't experienced this. Also, those comments are kind of offensive because they're judging off of appearances and they're untrue. And yes, those comments are unnecessary. Thank you. What I suggest you start doing is when you go on these dates, don't ever let them pick you up, okay? Because you need to be able to make like a smooth move to get the fuck up out of there. So they say some shit like that. You're trouble, aren't you? Say, that's some very, I don't know what you're trying to make a joke, but you keep your day job because your comedian skills are very lacking. I'm going to get my purse and I'm going to leave. Please don't contact me again. One thing I refuse to do is be insulted, put down, or negated by anyone. And then you walk out the door. You say that same thing. I can't tell if you're angel or trouble. You don't, but it won't be a problem for you now because now whatever this was is over. And then you get up and you walk out. The saying that you're single, let me take you on a date so I can uncover the red flag. No, that won't be necessary because same speech I just gave. Well, yeah, she just says come across. I don't know if this in person, over the phone, on a, she didn't say where it happened. She just said, I've come across. I mean, that could be anywhere. So we don't know. They could be in person, you know what I mean? Is that no? Yeah, because they're talking about drinking, so it had to be in person. Is that your devil drink that you're drinking? Because I was drinking a red drink on a date. So see, that's face to face. And so again, what you have to do, the immaturity is just ridiculous. The silliness, the little negative put downs and negative assessments and judgments of you. I don't take none of that shit from men. None of it. If I'm in the mood, I fire back and just crack his face right quick. But sometimes I just don't feel like it. I just get my shit and leave. Go up there and say, oh, can I get this and that to go? Because I might be hungry. I want something to eat. But most likely I'm just going to leave and go somewhere else and get something to eat by myself. Oh, these dudes. I don't even know what to say. But, it's just really unfortunate. Young ladies take so much disrespect. And, this kind of thing, you have to respond quickly. You have to respond decisively. And you do not respond in a positive way. You don't smile. You don't laugh. You say, you should apologize. You don't say any of that. These are grown ass men. They already know what they were saying was stupid. You don't need to tell them. They know that already. So you just walk out. Okay. No goodbye, no apology, no nothing, no excuse, nothing. I'll call you later, but we can still be friends. You're not going to say none of that. You're just going to walk the fuck out because he's stupid, which is what I think really seriously 90% of the people, these men that's online, I think they rejects from society. And that's why they online is the only way they're going to get attention from women is on a website. There's something, even if they look good and have a good job and are educated and all that kind of stuff, they have like the basic social accoutrements that a woman might be interested in. But once you start talking to them, is when the fool comes out. You see how unbalanced they are, how they have like no social skills or no conversational skills. They have no emotional intelligence. They make a poor partner. They can't even carry through with a good date or two because of the way that they think and the things that they say. And they, feel like it's okay. I don't know what to say about all that. Yes, clowns must be clowned. That's just the way that it is. It's like chickens must be fried. I mean, you know what I mean? Some things it's just the natural order of things. And leaving stupid men behind that's what you should do. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Dallas, Texas. Summer issue. He is a 10, but he smells really bad. Didn't we have one last week about a dude who smelled bad? I had a guy that I matched on a swipey thing. He really looks good and he's funny and charming and kind. We plan to meet up at a nearby cafe. He looks just as good in person and my heart skipped a beat and I thought he might be the one. Dang, Lily, it's like, oh, everybody they haven't been here for a minute is coming through here. But when he came to hug me and the smell hit me like a wall, it wasn't subtle. It was more like, wait a minute. It was more like gym socks left to rot in a locker. I pushed through though, hoping it was a fluke. But every movement, there was a fresh wave of the stench. I could not take the smell anymore, and I did not want to be rude, telling him that he smelled. So I faked an emergency text and ditched. The smell of fresh air was so refreshing. She put lol. He's asked me why I'm not reaching back to him. I'm in dire need of advice. I like the guy, but I don't like the smell. Please be nice to me. Thanks. You just need to tell him. Say, when you walked through the door and I first saw you, my heart flipped and I thought, wow, from the conversation we had and everything, I thought this guy, this is it. I done punched a lucky ticket. And then you got within 2 feet of me and I smelled that reeking stench off of you. I wanted to gag. And then I don't know what's going on with you. Why did you wear dirty clothes? What's going on? Did you not bathe? What's happening? What happened? Now I know a lot of people wouldn't do that, but that's how I roll. I would just have to tell them, like, I can't go out with you because you stink. Pigpen. You know, Pigpen and Charlie Brown would be having the dirt and stuff and flies be circling around all over. Pigpen. Question number 7. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Charlotte, North Carolina. Summary of issue. My partner won't stop lying and hiding things from me. Okay, so he's done it like more than once, more than twice, and you still there? Okay. And yes, we have talked, fought, cried, and poured our hearts out to each other over this and many other things. We both have the same mentality of fixing it before giving up. But I'm having a really hard time because all of this fixing hasn't been on my behalf, but on his. Every time we have a major fight, it's because of his actions crossing a boundary or lying slash hiding something minuscule or even big from me. The first few times we worked through it, but each time I find myself growing increasingly upset and intolerant of it, and I very much vocalized that to him. He said he wanted to work for us but try hard to preserve our relationship. But each time he does it, he still jeopardizes our relationship as if I haven't cried real tears to him, begging him to stop, or else I cannot continue our relationship. It's like he knows it's wrong, but does it anyway. And no, it's not cheating or popcorn, it's something else. And I've said it was very uncomfortable with for personal reasons. I wonder what it is. He tells me every time he gets caught, and yes, I mean caught, because he will lie to me with a straight face until I catch him, that he is afraid to anger or upset me. I explain to him that I'd rather be told the truth and help him work through it than to find out or catch him. He seems remorseful every time, but I'm slowly falling out of love with him, almost 100% out of love with him. I just simply don't know how else to explain or comfort or support him to let him know he is free to speak to me without consequence, yet he still chooses to lie. I'm at a loss for ideas and words. I don't even cry anymore. I'm just pissed and disappointed that he would rather lie and put a relationship on the line than be upfront with me and hurt my feelings with the truth. We have tossed up therapy and he would be open to it, but I don't know if it would help when it's been a year and a half of our relationship that he has lied since around the first month over stupid stuff. It's even worse than I thought. It's not even like a couple of months. You live a year and a half in with a liar. I have given him an ultimatum recently, and today he broke it when he butt dialed me and was talking to his friend. I heard a lot of things I was not okay with, and now I'm unsure of what to do. And when I suggest I am unsure if he's telling the truth, he gets angry or upset. Do you have any advice? I love him more than any person I've ever loved. I'm having a hard time calling it quits, even though I know that may be the fate of our relationships, and it seems like he has no regard or respect for me with the continuous lying. Well, I'm just going to tell you this, okay? A man, you say, "Oh, I don't want to date a liar. I just, I can't do that. My man must tell me the truth. I need honesty. I need it. I can't. I just." Okay, so then you get a man and he lies to you. Okay, then you find out he lies to you. This is when the Jeopardy music starts playing. Dun, 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 dun. And so we're waiting to see what you're gonna do. What's your answer gonna be? Most of you say, "Well, we'll work it out." You don't work out lies. Once you say that, what you now have done is given him permission to continue lying because he knows that you're weak and that you're going to accept whatever it is that he gives you. Now you say that you're getting falling out of love and all that stuff, but look how long it took you to do all that. He got a year and a half of using you. And yes, I say that because he's not giving you anything authentic, but he's taking authentic nook, your affection, your time, your love, your heart, your body. All those things are authentic. While he just feeds you a bunch of lies designed to manipulate and control what you do. So, see, to me, once, okay, we have, if I'm just barely dating you and I catch you in the lie, we're done here, sir. Now, you 2 years in, say year and a half, 2 years in, and then you catch him in a lie. Well, what is the lie? How big is it? How important is it on the overall grand scheme of things? If he says, well, I want a lottery ticket for $200, and then you find out that it was 2,000. Well, that's his red wagon because after all, it's his money that he bought the lottery ticket, right? Money with your money. So really, it doesn't matter that he lied about that. That's irrelevant. But what it is, it sets a pattern as far as him trying to manipulate you with untruths. That's the thing that you have to pay attention to. It's not so much what the lie is, unless it's something really egregious. But you pay more attention to the fact that now a pattern is being established of dishonesty, and why is he doing that? With the goal of manipulating me in some way. So you have to decide if this is something that you want to do. You only got two choices. You're either gonna stay in a relationship with a dude that lies to your face all the time, or you're going to deuce out on this. Those are the only two choices. So you stop complaining and stay there, or you keep complaining and it's enough for you to dip out. So pick one. That's it. You only get them two choices. Okay. Question number 8. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Columbus, Ohio. The male's 20 to 34. Summary issue. Everything feels great, but he doesn't want to be in a relationship. Do I leave? Well, if he doesn't want to be in a relationship, you ain't nothing for you to leave. Are you confused? You're confused. Yeah, well, she didn't say that he loves her. She said she loves him. Did you catch that? I be paying attention to everything. She did not say that he said he loves her. She said that I love him more than anything. But this and that, blah, blah. She said what she feels. She did not say what he feels. So that was conveniently left out. So, okay, so let's see what she's talking about. So I've been seeing this dude he's 29 for about 4 months now. He's actually my first boyfriend. The first guy to ever really take me seriously and want to be with me in those kind of, quote, intimate ways. He's had relationships before, but I had some bad experiences, so I had my guard up at first. But he's been really respectful and patient with me, and he seems to like me for me. He has said so multiple times, plus I can feel it. It's been a really sweet 4 months. We've had dates, and he treats me right. I feel like despite everything, there's a 4 hour distance there's an hour distance between us. We're both working. He chooses to be with me regularly. When we're together, we agree that it just feels natural. There wasn't much of an awkward stage between us to get to where we are, and we both feel like we're compatible in a lot of aspects with enough differences to keep us on our toes. The only issue is he has told me now twice at separate times that he doesn't want to be in a relationship. He said it has nothing to do with me, just that he has a lot on his plate and he thinks a relationship would be too much for him. I appreciate the honesty, but it just leaves me wondering if I should keep things going with him. We like each other a lot and we say so all the time. And I do have a good time with him, but a small part of my head makes me feel like life without the relationship title, we're just boning, for lack of a better term. But what is it that you think being a boyfriend and girlfriend really is? I've talked about it. I used to have a whole video on that. Like having a boyfriend, that don't mean shit. You can't take that to the bank and do nothing with it. What does it do? It makes a woman feel better about having somebody screwing her on a regular basis, I guess. But in real life, it doesn't really mean anything. So whether you have a situation where you call him the boyfriend and he calls you the girlfriend, or y'all continue doing exactly what you're doing right now, the end result's gonna be the same thing. Okay, let's just be blunt here. I'm getting tired of I'm just worn out with coddling women's feelings or even attempting to. Y'all just need some straight talk. Just ridiculous, because this shit here is crazy. You think because you done fought and scraped and scratched and begged and whined and pleaded to get the title of a girlfriend that it means something. It don't mean shit. What means something is fiance, maybe, but even that's kind of tenuous. But I guess it means more because you got a ring and people know about it and all those stuff here than just being a girlfriend. You know how many times most people change their boyfriends and girlfriends over their lifetime till they meet the one? A whole bunch. So, okay. So let me see what else you said. This is just so disturbing because you're so confused. Sometimes it feels like we're dating. We exclusively are seeing each other regularly, but he just doesn't want to make it official. And while I really enjoy what I have with him, I think something like that does matter to me, and I won't be able to push it aside for long. I just think about the dating world nowadays in the most recent election. Like, if you find someone who treats you right, you should keep them around. And I know he isn't the last guy on earth, but I feel like I really struggle finding people I click with on this level, which is why he's such a first for me. I actually feel like dating is so hard for me, LMAO. I hate the aspect of starting over and having failed situationships. I just want to know what you would do in this situation. Is this clearly a leave you deserve better kind of situation? Absolutely, if that's what you really want. See, to me, it's like when you get in a relationship, it's about what do you need? What do you want? If you want a man who's on the same page as you about them titles and, you know, that means something to him and all that stuff, then he's not the dude for you. If you just like, the behaviors and you want to continue getting those behaviors, then you just stay put. Because like I said, it doesn't really mean anything that much anyway. You can But since you don't have a commitment, see, this is the thing. You haven't made, this you haven't made this clarifying statement. Neither one of you agreed to anything like that. So you're a single girlfriend. Go out and date other people. You don't owe him all this loyalty about, it seems like feels like we're dating. It shouldn't feel like you're dating because you're not. Okay? It's just what we used to call in the hood kicking it. You kicking it with somebody. It means you can kick it with two, three, four other people too, exactly the same way. And if you want to sleep with them, you can do that too. Ain't nothing stopping you, you grown ass woman. Do what you feel. Okay. Question number 9. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Jacksonville, Florida. So I have an issue. I'm on the fence about a man and wondering if I should stay with somebody who is a financial pit. Ooh. Uh, let's have Leandra weigh in on that question. Should she stay with a man who's in a financial pit, Leandra? I'm 23 and I've been dating a 26-year-old guy I met off of an app for about 6 months now, and things are getting pretty aggravating. He's slowly gotten into a really bad financial pit due to changing jobs. He's blue collar with the hope of getting back into management. Initially, I started dating him because he's super sweet and he's kind and he's giving and he's very handsome. He's a complete romantic and a gentleman. He's also emotionally supportive. However, the stress of his living/financial situation is such a turnoff. He might be joining the army as a last resort if management or opening a business with the help of his extended family doesn't work out. Plus, he's having breakdowns because of it, and it's just a very ugly thing. He's never been aggressive physically towards me, but he's accidentally broke something with a towel during a breakdown the other day. I don't feel as secure in the relationship because he's so broke. I don't need gifts, but I don't want to feel bad if he buys me dinner, and I don't want to support him, not that he has asked me to, but I have student loans to pay. There's also little things and patterns I've noticed that are slowly causing me to resent him. Some things are very similar to what I do, and so I've been very introspective. I'm supposed to go to his house for the next couple of days with the hopes of maybe rekindling my feelings. However, I just feel agitated. Is this normal for a dating couple in your 20s? I just want to have fun and do things without feeling obligated to pay for a man. My therapist says she thinks I'm on the fence and need more time and information before breaking up with him, which I agree on. I'm just tired. Well, I don't see why you need more time and information. I already said everything in there that there is to say about the man, and it's just he just even if he is ready, he's just not ready for you. He's not ready right now. So what are you doing? I disagree with your therapist. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After just 6 months, she going through all these changes and saying, what he broke and he can't do nothing and all stuff. So when somebody's really, I don't understand all these men who don't have a job and don't have no money trying to date. Where they do that at? Dating costs money. Okay, if you don't have none, basically what you're just trying to do is come up with some free ass. That's what you're trying to do. And you thinking that these girls are desperate and dumb enough to give it to you, which it sadly appears that they are, because they don't have any standards. It's like you got a guy who can't take you out and treat you nicely and buy you flowers and stuff because he don't have no money. He barely paying his rent. He borrowing from pillar to post to try to make his to pay his cell phone bill and all this kind of stuff like that. What future would you have with a man? I can't even see into tomorrow with somebody like that. And y'all be dating these dudes for like a year, just wasting all your time. I don't understand. Is it just me? Is it me? Is it me? I'm gonna put this up for a minute because I need to get my water. So y'all, hold on a second. Where's the thing for this show? This one. I'll be back. It won't take me probably not even a minute. Okay, I would have been back sooner, but you know what? I got up and hit the stack of letters, and they dropped all over the floor. I had to pick them up and put it back in the order. So anyway, let's continue with our show. I also got my phone in case somebody does a Cash App. I'll be able to verify that they did it. So let me go over this again. Now that more people have showed up, what we're doing tonight is our once a month call-in advice show. It's in addition to the here we go. It's in addition to the advice questions that we do every week. So what you can do is if you want to get your question answered, you would type it into the chat here, or you can call in. I'll put the number for you to call and be in part of the show, audio only, and you can ask your question out loud. Okay. This is you did? I can't wait to see. Girl, credit card, dude probably don't have no critic. Don't have no critic. You don't have no money. Don't you have to have money to get credit? I don't know. These dudes, I just can't. I know when I was broke, I refused to date. I wasn't trying to date nobody. I had no money. Just couldn't do it. All right, let us move on back to the next letter. So yeah, so she's tired, poor little thing. So yeah, you know, she just had to make a decision. Leandra's answers right here on the YouTube chat. All right, let's move on. Question number 10. We got 10 of 25 questions, plus whatever questions you guys might call in and ask. I put the number, the link there for if you want to call in your question and have it be on audio, or you can just type it here in the chat room after you pay your $10 in Cash App or YouTube Super Chat. Either one. Okay, question number 10, female, 22 to 27 from Plymouth in Devon, England. The male's 22 to 27 as well. Time of issue. My boyfriend didn't want to help in a medical emergency. I'm very torn about something that happened and would like an outside perspective. We've been together almost a year. We're both 22. It's always been a problem that he never prioritizes me and chooses his own comfort over me. This is because he's been struggling a lot with his mental health and didn't have the mental strength to give me the love and effort I deserve. Then why did you stay with him? You sound stupid. I understand this and chose to support him and believe his promises of being less selfish in the future. As besides not being priorities, he was kind and loving to me. I don't understand how you can be kind and loving to somebody when they're not a priority. It's supposed to be a romantic relationship of two people, and that person's not a priority to you. Okay. His selfishness always involves small things that might perceive as not a big deal. A few examples of not wanting to drive me home, a 10-minute drive, as it will cost him money, or he doesn't want to leave his cat, or he's just wearing pajamas. He's going to be in his car. Who's going to see him? Another example would be hesitate me on a date since we started dating. This is because he had to do a hair test for court, so he didn't feel like going. Wow, this guy got more excuses. He didn't feel like going out as restricted because he couldn't drink. I've always had an understanding for this, and I genuinely didn't mind our lazy movie nights and promised a better time once his troubles were over and he felt mentally better. This went on for 9 months until he got his hair test done. And then, okay, so last week her parents went out of town. Her brother, who is 20, went to play a hockey match in another city, called me and said he fell during his match and he couldn't walk or drive anymore. As my parents were not available, he asked me to come so I could drive him to the hospital, as his foot was already looking very swollen and he was in a lot of pain. Now, because my brother took the car to go to his match, I asked my boyfriend, who was already at my place, to drive me there, as it was a medical emergency and I didn't have my car. He told me he didn't want to because he didn't really feel like as he was tired, and he told me it would ruin his evening as he made plans to go for a drink with his friends. Mind you, there were still 3 hours left until he was supposed to meet up with them. Eventually, the mother and sister of my brother's girlfriend, the girlfriend also has a broken foot, so she couldn't really help him either, drove there and picked him up despite the mother having undergone surgery 2 days prior. Meanwhile, my boyfriend went out with his friends. Wow. After this happened, me, my family, and my brother's girlfriend's family, and my friends are all shocked and angry at his lack of empathy and unwillingness to help. After a week of not seeing each other, we had a talk. This talk went totally wrong as I got so upset that I ended up leaving. He only talked about his own feelings and then added, "But I understand your view and I'm sorry." He also told me that I just have a lot of emotions, that everything has context, that I interpret everything wrong, and that I generalize everything. He also told me that the medical emergency wasn't a big deal either, as my brother had just hurt his foot. I was so angry and in disbelief as all I hoped for was a genuine apology. I feel so extremely torn right now as I do love him dearly and the thought of never seeing him again hurts so much. But I also know the relationship shouldn't be like this and I deserve better. I deserve to be prioritized and to be loved correctly. But at the same time, just like he said, he isn't a terrible person as he doesn't cheat or beat me. But so you have to go to the like bottom of the barrel to not be a good partner? Wow. I never knew that. Besides, because of everything he says, I'm starting to doubt myself whether I am indeed making a big deal out of nothing. I also don't know how to start over and act as if nothing ever happened. There's nothing to start over here. He's never, as you said, shown you or any interest in what you're talking about to be a priority in his life. You're there for convenience. Go on my blog. I haven't updated that thing in probably, I don't even know how many years. Survivingdating.com and look for an article called Relationship of Convenience. I may even have done it, converted it to a video here. I don't know. But it's something I wrote probably about 2002, 1999, something along those lines. It's called Relationship of Convenience. And it breaks down for women why these kind of relationships they stay in these kind of relationships thinking that it's something coming later, it's going to be greater later, it's going, he's making all these promises, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, if I just wait, if I just pray, if I just hope hard enough. And the guy doesn't really give you anything. I mean, they treat you nice just like they would treat a dog. I mean, you know what I mean? Unless he's kicking and beating the dog, you're gonna feed the dog, you're gonna pet the dog, you're gonna get the dog some toys and get the dog a bed, and he's gonna take the dog for walks and it's put in the sunshine and bathed and all stuff. I mean, he's treat the dog well, but it's still just his dog. And see, you've taken like a dog level involvement in his life, and you okay with that. And now you're starting to doubt yourself after the way he clowned your brother. Now, admittedly, what he said, your brother hurt his foot. Because see, what I'm wondering is he went there for a hockey game. Then is he on a team? Where's his coach? They're the ones responsible to take him to get medical treatment. So something about the story is really not really, he's like 20 something years old, 20 years old. So that means he's like a university student. That means he's there with his university hockey team. That would mean that they should have either provided medical treatment or given him medical treatment. You shouldn't have to drive an hour to take him to do anything. The only thing, he may have had to catch a ride back with somebody and y'all go get the car the next day. But I mean, I'm looking at this situation and I'm not seeing where what happened makes really logical sense. Things don't normally happen that way. So I'm kind of confused. So, but whether he reacted that way in this situation or not, which could be actually justified, the fact is this is a pattern. And so since the pattern has left you unsatisfied and unhappy and feeling unloved and uncared for, then there's no reason for you to stay and call yourself in a relationship with a man like that. Okay? So just let this go. Yeah, he could have done all that, but he didn't want to. Like I said, because she just convenience. So he was like, once he got served, he's like, I'm not getting out of bed. That was good. Now take yourself home and then come back when I want you again. That's essentially the kind of relationship that she has, and she don't see it though. She's providing services, and that's all she's there for. Question number 11. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Phoenix, Arizona. Third issue. Should I tell my grandmother that none of the money she sends goes to me? My family situation is a little complicated, but I'll try to explain briefly. I'm 20. I live with my mother. Growing up, my grandmother has always sent me money, usually around the holidays and my birthday. Except she always sends it to my mother since she trusts her enough to not keep it for herself and reliably give it to me as intended. It's the same thing every time. My mom will call me into her room, call my grandmother on the phone, and make me say thank you for the money she sent, except, of course, I've never seen a penny of it. and that's the only way I ever get to speak to my family at all. I've never been in contact with my grandmother or any other family of mine until last year because growing up, my mother prevented any contact with the rest of the family due to her own personal grievances. Becoming 20 and a little more independent, once I had my own job, I was able to buy a phone and my own plan and reach out to all the family I've never been in contact with before. It started with finding my older sister on Instagram, and then she put me in contact with and introduced me to my other sister, who then introduced me to my brother, etc., etc. My mom has no idea I'm in contact with any of my family at all, and I've kept it that way for the past year. When my mom called me to her room yesterday and told me that she'd be keeping the money, but to say thank you to my grandma, as usual, I just went back up to my room. Growing up, my mom has never given me any of the money my grandmother has sent over, but now that I have this contact, I can finally say something. The only thing stopping me is the fear of retaliation. I live under her roof, so is it even my place to expose my mom like this? What if she kicks me out if I do? If I do tell my grandmother, is there a certain way I should go about it? I appreciate any advice or input. I think if it were me, I'd write my grandmother and say, Mom always tells me to say thank you for the money that you send, but how much do you be sending? That's going to tell her all she needs to know. What am I thanking you for? How much was it? Something along those lines. And she'd be like, you mean you don't know? He'd be like, no, I never see any of it. So but I just wanted, I still want to thank you because it was nice for you to send it, but I just wanted to know how much you'd be sending. And so then that's how they're going to open the cat's bag. Now, what you got a sister and you got all these other relatives, would any of them allow you to stay with them? Do they have space? Do you have to stay with your mother? Because she sounds like an interesting sort. But there's no reason why once you hit 18, couldn't have opened your own bank account and your grandmother could have just transferred the money to you or sent you a check or something like that. You could have a joint, like if you just really want to have somebody's name on it, you could have your sister on the account with you or something like that. But really, you're 20 years old. You can manage your own money. You don't really need anybody else's name on it. So just do that. Okay? If your mother asks you about the PIN number or something like that, then say, no, this is my money. I don't have your PIN and you don't need to have mine. And there you go. You got your own job. Your money should go into your account and you should pay it. Now, the thing that's concerning to me is your mother sounds so trippy. She's trying to charge you rent and all this kind of stuff here. So, I'm saying you shouldn't contribute something because you do eat and use up the lights and all that kind of stuff. But it shouldn't be like, like rent. Hey, Shay. Leandra over here doing her little dirt. Let's move on. Question number 12. Today is the advice, instant advice show, but people aren't advising. This is the link if they want to call in their question is right there. Other than that, people, you can just type your question in there and we'll see it and respond to it that way. Question number 12. This is a young man in the 20 to 34 age group from Canterbury, England. Same issue. How to know when to kill it or invest in it. I met this girl. We're both 31. So that's not a girl. That's a grown woman. And we already went on 4 dates since 2 weeks of seeing each other. We do have fun. The look is good. But I feel that, okay, in 2 weeks, you're already sleeping with each other? Wow. But I feel that both of us don't really feel accepted in the way we are by each other. The thing is, I'm more into a healthy lifestyle, doing the outdoors, while also going out for nightlife maybe once or twice a week. Meanwhile, she's still very much into smoking the herbalicious. I was just like her 10 years ago, so I don't want to say too much. But she hangs out at least 3 to 4 times a week and is not into exercising or outdoor activity. I'm trying to approach dating differently this time, and that's why I'm still seeing her. I've been trying not to make decisions based on logic and make feelings happen and take place and lead me wherever it wants. As we date more, I do feel a bit more attached, but I can't fight the feeling of being judged by her for being more of a homebody with few friends, as this is the exact opposite of what she is. At the same time, I can tell that she also feels judged by me because she also has this need to hang out a lot and has a hard time being alone and not drinking or smoking too much. We have things in common. We are both in the same profession. We have friends in common, and we both have our traumas, which manifests in me by liking to spend more time by myself, while it manifests in her by needing to be so overly social. I just need some advice here. I'm feeling some kind of FWB vibes with her. Should I have this conversation, or should I just let things happen without addressing it in this soon? Sir, you can let your feelings run the relationship, but the relationship needs to make sense first. You two have vastly different life goals and lifestyles. This is not gonna work. It's gonna work for a short time while you guys, in the throes of the romantic bliss and everybody's making all these compromises and changing their lives and all that stuff. But you at the point now where you're tired of doing that and you just want to be real with, live your real self, be your true self, and have a real relationship based on that true self. And that's where the conflicts are coming in because neither of you have been doing that. So I don't think this is going to last very long. You're gonna be constantly feeling judged and criticized. She's gonna be feeling judged and criticized. That's not an environment in which love is gonna foster grand feelings of emotion and commitment and love and be all flowery and smell good and butterflies sing and all that. Is that ain't that kind of party. So you yeah, FWB vibes, exactly. So you need to, just suck it up and say, I've been thinking about our situation here and how we live in, and it's just, I don't think this is gonna work. And just put it like that, and then tell them why. Question number 13. This is a female in 20 to 34 age group from Bakersfield, California. The male is 42 to 49 from Baltimore. Oh, so a long distance thing. Time of issue. A creepy associate is asking for a loan. I'm 33 and I fully understand that sometimes one falls on hard times. Hey, it's happened to me earlier this year due to some really poor habits that exacerbated and pretty much destroyed my life. But I'm slowly getting back on track. Actually, I never thought I'd have to borrow money from people because I thought it was pathetic, especially just for $100. But I had some miraculous things happen in between to allow me to pay my rent. And I only ask people for a loan who I've known for about 10 years. Being broke is not a habit for me at all. I'm usually high earning and stable. Okay, so on to the story. This creeper guy, he's maybe 45 or 48 or so, who literally behaves like a stalker, is annoying. We met when we were both out working out of town on a political presidential campaign. Make a wrong turn on the street, he'd know. He'd be waiting for me outside the parking lot when I pull up after a long shift, etc. What? He lives on the East Coast and I live on the West Coast, which is great when dealing with a stalker. Actually, want to not deal with him, but here I go with the people pleasing. He asked me to send him money to buy his kids Christmas gifts, and I sent $45 via Cash App. The next day, he was asking me for $80 to cover his kids' meds. Sometimes I'm way too nice. So I do have it, but he is a real creeper, obviously, with a personality issue, and I don't want to seem like his ATM, and this is a man I've only known for weeks. What do I do or say? Why can't you just block him? The presidential campaign is over. You're gonna block him and you're gonna go on back to where'd you say you was? Bakersfield. You're gonna go back to Bakersfield, right? So just block him on your phone and then he can't call you anymore. Okay? It's real simple. That's all you have to do. It's not hard. But you send him $45 and they say he wants you to send $80 to cover their medications. Mm-hmm. Should have been like me when I told that dude to ask me for that $50 for his grandmother's medicine. She old, the bitch is old anyway. Just let her tell her ass to go to the light. She'll be all right. Mm-hmm. He was so mad. He was so mad at me. I thought I was hysterically funny and just clever as hell. I was laughing at myself. I said, "Ooh, that was a good one, girl. Where you get that from?" But I'm not giving you shit. If you need me to help save your kids, they just gonna be dead. Especially, I don't know you. I don't even know you got any kids. You just trying to pimp somebody for some money. Fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. Yes, not doing that. Yeah, well, I just don't understand this. What is this too nice stuff? Why would you give a man that you barely know any money? No, it's too cold in here with no heat. Don't open it all the way though. Just let it cracked open a little bit. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Auckland, New Zealand. The male is 22 to 27. Some issue on the fence about a man and wondering if I should stay with someone who is in a financial pit. I've been dating a guy I met off an app about 6 months now, and things are just really getting aggravating. He's 26, I'm 23, and slowly gotten into a really bad financial pit. Didn't I read this already? Am I not putting my letters back? Hold on a second. Hmm. No, I guess this is a different one. Okay. Um, so we got two women whose men are just trifling and raggedy. This is just terrible. So let's see. He's got this. I started dating him. He might be joining the army, and as a last resort, if management or opening a business with the help of the family doesn't work out. Yeah, this is the same. Or did she put the same letter in here twice? Hold on a second, y'all. I'm getting confused. I don't remember her ever having done this, but that letter, I could have sworn I just read something like that. Oh, it's paper. Okay, the creepy associate are asking for a loan. And then this. I don't know. This seems like I just read this. The boyfriend is not interested anymore. She went through his phone. I can't tell if he's single or trouble. The guy is hiding things. The guy who's the first boyfriend. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, he's from Auckland, New Zealand. He's a financial pit. He's been changing jobs. I started dating him because he's super sweet, kind, giving, and very handsome. Right? Doesn't it sound familiar? He might be joining the army. Yeah. Or maybe I just didn't put it over here. I must be losing my mind. Anyway, never mind that. Let's just move on. Question number 15. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's a Latina from San Luis Obispo. Third issue, issuing ultimatums. I'm 24. I've been dating my now 30-year-old boyfriend for over 6 years. We've discussed engagement over the past years, and we have even bought a ring over a year ago. When I recently asked him about when he might propose, his response shocked me. He said he still needs to figure out if we're a good match after 6 years. As the daughter of traditional Mexican parents, they've told me that if we're not moving toward marriage, we should consider going our separate ways. Back in June, I told him I was ready to get engaged, especially since we both have our degrees, full time jobs, and are financially stable. Despite that, he keeps telling me he's not ready. I finally told him that if he doesn't propose by the end of the year, I'm done. I feel like 6 years is more than enough time to know if I'm the right person for him. Is this ultimatum reasonable, or is there something deeper going on? This is something that you should have done years ago. Why would you date somebody for 6 years at your age? 22 to 27, that's the prime time of your life. When your body's the healthiest, your skin is the tightest, your butt is the highest, and you're going to be just sitting around dating somebody forever and a day? What you doing that for? and he's 30, and you've been with him for 6 years. You really don't think a 30-year-old man knows if he wants to be with you or not? Girl, listen to your parents, but don't give him. You said you're gonna give him by the end of the year. You done? No, no, no. You give him till the end of November. That's long enough. 6 years is way. That's like 4 years too long. That's you doing the most. And watch, you're gonna meet somebody and be married in 2 years, and after next time, don't do this again. If a man is not talking about something, you want to get married, have children, and stuff, and he's not talking about, setting dates and doing all that stuff like within a year, then I'm not saying you got to be married then. I'm saying a plan should be being laid out and rolled out and executed at this age. A year is long enough to start the conversation, start making the moves and putting things in place. And he's not doing that, and you know that's what you want, then you dip out on him and go find somebody else. It's just that simple. When they really want you, they want you. You don't have to ask them. You don't have to chase them down. You don't have to wait years and years. They will be it's so in your face and talking about, oh, we need to get married and I can't wait for you to be my wife. They'll be saying things like that. You'll be like, oh my God, he's just so intense. He just can't wait to be somebody's husband. He's losing his mind. That is how a guy when he really wants to marry you. This here, that should have told you by the time you hit year 3 and you still just dating, that should have told you everything you need to know right there. I wish I would. Okay. Hold on, let me get some water. All this dust I'm talking about is making my throat dry. The dusty men. All right, let's move on to question number 16. She says, everything was great until he sent a D pic. What now? So I've been talking with this guy, and we had an amazing date on Friday. I'm 29 and he is 33. We honestly have great chemistry, a lot in common, and I was feeling pretty good about it, as it's not unusual that I feel a connection like this. Earlier today, we were exchanging flirtatious texts, but it definitely wasn't overly sexual. Then he sent me a D pic. I told him it was not the right move, and he apologized profusely, but now I don't know how to feel or what to do. I kind of want to ignore it and keep things going, but I am also so disappointed and feeling upset because he definitely doesn't see me as girlfriend material, or else he wouldn't have done that. Deb, is this salvageable? Absolutely not. And what I'm going to tell you is this, okay? This is the first part of the relationship, right? When guys are primarily on their best behavior, they're trying to show you their best. They're rolling out the red carpet. They're just being Mr. P's and Q's. They want you to think so highly of him. They want you to respect him. They want you to admire him. They want you to think he's a shit. Like that you done struck gold. You done run the lottery by getting with this man. That's what they want you to think when they're trying to make a solid and good impression on you because they care what you think about him. This clown don't think nothing about that. All he's thinking about is getting his D wet. And he's going through the most expeditious way possible, straight to, he don't even want to have no extraneous conversation. He's going to be just showing you, well, this is what would be happening. Does that meet your satisfaction? If so, let's meet up. That's where he's going. That's why they be sending them kind of things. Now, is this salvageable? You asked. Absolutely, like I said, that's the question. Answer to that question is absolutely not, because he's already disrespected you. Why do you think that he could salvage respect out of thin air? If he respected you, he would not have done that. Just as you surmised, he would have been afraid to offend you. But no, he wasn't. So what does that mean? That means that he doesn't respect you at all. He doesn't think of you not only as not a girlfriend material, but as not even as somebody that he should show some respect to and some, um, you know, common courtesy. He's just treating you like trash, like garbage. That's what these men do when they send these kind of pictures. That's what that means. AOL first, AOL was the first service that people was using, right? And when they put instant message, AOL instant messenger, they invented that and they got that going on AOL. Honey, it was like the wild, wild west. It was crazy. And so all of a sudden you'd be like, just like in the chat room or checking your email or something, and this little box would pop up and it'd be, a message from some rando. And so you click it, and then 90% of the time it would be a D pic. For me, the majority of them was white dudes. And my standard line to them, because I got sick of it, I would just say, "Well, where's the rest of it?" And then they would click off and block you. I said that shit every time, or some variation thereof. Where is the rest of it? Stuff like that. I don't know. I just couldn't be bothered. So I wanted to, insult them. So whatever the excitement they thought they was gonna get from me seeing that picture, they got, they was deflated because it was not exciting, and I just hurt their little feels. And so there you go. That's how we do things. But girl, anytime a man disrespects you, don't even think about salvaging the shit. You met him on one of them nasty ass swipey things. Those things are full of losers. Just go on to the next one. There's got hundreds of losers to pick from. No need to try to work any special magic with this one. Question number 17. This is a male at 18 to 21-year-old. No location provided. Some have issue asking a friend out. I've been friends with this girl in the same club sport in college for the past 3 to 4 months. I've been seeing her constantly because we have practices 4 days a week, and we've been traveling to tournaments on weekends. And during those, we're like always around each other. I really like her. We talk to each other a lot and flirting too. So I'm pretty sure she likes me as well. I know I want to ask her out, but I've never been on a date before. I'm not sure what I should ask her out to do. I feel like dinner is weird for two college kids like us. I want to do something more fun. Unfortunately, the weather isn't great right now. The highs are in the low 50s. So I don't know if something outdoors like mini golf is a great idea. Yeah, it might be cold if that wind kicks up like today. Ooh, that wind was blowing. I was like, dang. The last thing is that since people will be leaving for Thanksgiving break, probably Thursday or Friday, I want to try to have the date very soon. As we get back from Thanksgiving break, there's only 1 week before finals. So if everything goes well, we could have another date or two in that period before we go back for winter break. Before we go back home, we live like 30 minutes away from each other. I was hoping if we get a couple of dates in at school, then it'll be easier to continue the relationship over winter break, right? Do you or any of your viewers with more experience have ideas or advice for me? He asked a lot of questions. I would say this: can you slow the fuck down? You don't even have date one, and you already looking into the future. Like we can have more dates, and it's gonna be for the relationship. You don't even know if you're gonna like this girl. Okay, can you just slow down? Your expectations are going to put you in a really bad situation because you're just putting too much on it, and you haven't even gone out with her one time. You've never been on a date before. You're not sure what to ask her to do. Right. So you haven't even asked her. You have different tastes in movies. So that's not going to be good. You thought to ask her to lunch at this campus or something, but that's not romantic. Your breaks, you just like you put a lot of thought into this, but what you're doing is you're overthinking. And so what you're going to do is make yourself not do anything, or you're going to lose out because you're just putting too much on this. You can say, hey, let's go over here and get some pizza or something and sit down and have a talk. It's that simple. That's it. You don't have to make it a big deal. Okay. Then you talk to the girl. You might find out that she's stupid or she's some weird religion or something. I mean, you just never know what you're going to be running into. So all of this stuff where you talking about winter break and we could get to it. I mean, you putting the cart before the horse. The horse hasn't even left the barn yet because you ain't even asked on no date. And yet you worrying about all this stuff months into the future. Stop it. Okay. Take it one day at a time. This is the kind of stuff that gets your feelings hurt. You're doing the most. Stop. Stop it. Question number 18. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Loughton in the UK. Males 28 to 34. Serve issue. My boyfriend keeps saying he's, quote, tired and doesn't reach out to talk to me. We get into an argument about this. He apologizes and says he'll do better, but he hasn't changed anything. So what does that tell you? Did I just have this conversation with somebody else earlier today? Men speak with actions. Women want words. Men don't use words. They speak with actions. So no matter what he's saying, even if his words and actions don't match, pay attention to what he's doing. Doing what he's doing and what he's not doing. That's it. That's all you have to pay attention to. Because they gonna lie. Them gamers, they be gonna tell you anything they think you want to hear. They ain't gonna be fooling your head full of all kind of stuff, all kind of consonants and syllables. But you don't do that. You go by what they do. And just, what he's saying should be like a dull roar in your ears when you're not really paying much attention to it. So you go on talking about we've been together for 2 years, we're different people, especially when it comes to conflict resolution. He likes the space to think, and I like to address the issue right away. We got better with this, but recently I've been really frustrated with how he deals with me being upset. For the past few months, he expressed being tired, and when he does, he starts to speak with me less and is very absent. He won't really initiate any conversation, whether through text or calls. Then, when I express that I feel quite upset about this, we get into a disagreement or argument. He also says he's tired, he can't think, and never knows how to respond. He won't really speak to me and then just says, I'm sorry, and expects me to move on from it. I get so irritated because I want to talk about it more. And then he blames me for dragging it on. He also blames me for being upset and starting stuff when he's tired. But still, he always ends up apologizing and saying he will be nicer next time. Then the next time comes around, this happens again. It's a never ending cycle. And he always apologizes and says he'll do better, but he never actually changes anything. What pisses me off even more is he says he's too tired to talk to me and then plays games and goes out with a friend, and that's normal with them. I just feel like I'm getting the worst version of him. He seems so okay with me being upset and doesn't seem to care, even though he says he does. I generally don't know what to do. Any advice? Yeah, slap the shit out of yourself. Because, little bitch, your ass is always fucking upset. Did you see that? And how many times you talk about that in this letter? I'm upset, I was upset, I was upset, I'm upset. Nobody want to talk to nobody who's upset all the goddamn time. That's why he don't want to talk to your ass. You just a killjoy. Negative. All you do is want to talk about somebody and complain and whine and stuff. No, that man ain't trying to be bothered with your ass. That's why this is exactly why he's cutting. He don't want to talk to you. I wouldn't want to talk to you. I barely want to read your damn letter. Nobody want to talk to you. Women who are always upset, same thing with me. You just complaining all the goddamn time. Everything's upset. It's upset you. You always got something negative to say. Nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy all the time. Okay. There's nothing here for him there's no benefit to him to talk to you when all you're going to do is be upset and just fill his ears with more complaints. So you think about that, because that's exactly the reason why he's backed away from you and don't want to talk to your ass. Complain too goddamn much. And that's all you did in this letter, just complain and complain and complain. Well, he will apologize. So that's because you haven't changed. You still respond to him exactly the same way. You're looking at him to make all the changes. The one who needs to complain and not get so upset all the time is you. And if it's not going to work for you and you just want a different kind of man, then go get that man. Don't be trying to change this guy into that man that you had fantasized about in your head. Okay, that's not fair to him. He should be accepted for who and what he is. And you can't do that, then move on to the next one. It's not hard. Question number 19. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Laredo, Texas. Male 22 to 27. Summary of issue. I'm starting to resent my partner. I am 18 and he is 24, and we have been together for 3 months now. This is my first ever relationship, and we get together when I was 17. So let's see, was she 17? That was a year ago. Okay. As he had gotten more comfortable, I really started to resent him. He has no life goals. I have my license and he doesn't even drive. We share nothing in common as he constantly playing music I don't like in my car and making me watch movies I fall asleep to. I have really tried to share his interests, but I just cannot get into it, and he makes no effort to get to know me as a person. When I do speak, he turns the whole conversation back on himself and completely dismisses what I say. Okay, so let me stop because something's bothering me here. Okay, you 18 and 24, so they were 17 and 23. So he's 6 years older than you. He don't have no life goals. He don't have no license. He don't have no car. He shared nothing in common. He plays crazy music. He watches crazy movies. Okay. He don't want to have Nook Nook, which is probably good, because then the next thing you know, you would get pregnant by him and be really stuck because you sound kind of goofy. We have been out drinking a few times, and he doesn't care if I drive drunk. Lately, he has been getting a lot more comfortable. He has stopped taking his schizophrenia. Okay. He stopped taking his schizophrenia medication so he can finish in bed, which, by the way, sorry for the details here, I have a high drive and he doesn't. I am always expected to have nook nook when he wants it, but when I want it, he gets annoyed and pushes me away. He won't shut the F up and will talk for hours nonstop. He will sleep all day if I let him and start sharing his thoughts on why women should be allowed to hit men. I don't agree, but he believes in equal rights, equal fights. There have been a few times he has hurt me, leaving hickeys all over me, pulling my hair when I moved away from him, and choking me in public. Then he apologizes and always says it was an accident and, quote, I was joking. We have good moments, don't get me wrong. He does make me laugh, and I do miss him when it's not around for long periods of time. He always posts our good moments on social media and never speaks bad about me to anyone. He tells me he loves me at least 5 times a day and is very affectionate. And when he does have, wow, money, he will buy me gifts and take me to dinner. I do the same. It's 50-50. All my friends and family say he's no good, but I'm just really conflicted because I don't have any good relationship examples in my life. Hell, my own parents are divorced. He sends me sweet messages and always compliments me, so I just think it's not all bad. It's just hard because this is the first person I've ever been intimate with. So you know what? First. First don't mean last. First don't mean only. And first don't mean best. It's just the first. So what I want you to do is look at this loser that you're dealing with and look at the fact that you were a 17-year-old minor child and this 13-year-old man was perving on you. 23-year-old man, I'm sorry. 23-year-old man was perving on you. That is against the law. Okay? You probably not knowing that, but I can't see how any girl who's a minor in the United States of America does not know that law. Okay? You must be living under a rock if you didn't know that. You under 18, you're a minor child. Okay? You can't be dealing with grown men in their 20s like that. That was inappropriate. Your parents just jammed him up. She don't know what the appeal is that he was her first. That's all she can think about. Because you know, a lot of these girls have this thing where they feel like they because they slept with a dude that they own him, he owns them or they have some loyal to him or something. I don't know what they be thinking. It's stupid. But they take a whole bunch of stuff from the dude because he was there first. And so that's what I think is going on here. But I don't know what the loyalty. Well, I don't know what because I don't see any appeal about him anywhere. I don't know what she's thinking. Let's move on to question number 20. This is a female, 20 to 34 age group. She's Asian from San Francisco. The male is 20 to 34. Some of issue. My boyfriend has a terrible sense of humor. I love him, but I'm just not sure if I should try to change his sense of humor and to break up. He's in the 28 to 34 age group just like you, and you think you can change a grown ass man. Are you insane? My boyfriend is 31 and has a sense of humor of a middle schooler. For some context, I'm 29 and this is both of our first relationship, and we have been together for about 6 months. I genuinely love him. He is sweet, dorky, thoughtful, supportive, in therapy, and he gets excited about everything, which is a quality I find endearing. He also has some mental health issues. See, here we go again. What is this with all these young men crazy as hell? Which feels like it might have something to do with my issue. He makes jokes and then he laughs at them very loudly and very long, no matter if anyone else is laughing or not. He just can't let other people make jokes. He has to insert some long story or some strange cultural, oh God, he sounds like a bore, reference, and he can never just make a joke and move on. It's exhausting and frustrating. Being I think of myself as pretty funny, and he really doesn't pay any attention to my jokes. It begins to feel like he doesn't care about what I like or find funny, and it's really hard to have him around my friends. My question is, would it be okay to try to make him aware of these things, or do I just cut him loose? I don't want to give him a complex or social anxiety, but I'm getting to the point where it's hard to be around him. But he's such a sweet person who's trying so hard to build his life after really missing out on his 20s. So what was he in prison? What you talking about? He missed his 20s. Girl, you know what? Take your cape off. You ain't saving nobody. Okay, this is just a grown man, same age group as you. And He is what he is. Okay? He's older than you. Because then you said you were 29 and he was 31. Right. Yeah, you're 29, he's 31. This is not a good relationship for you. I mean, you see it and you wrote about it, but you not really don't seem to be accepting it. That's the part that's bothering me the most. You're not accepting it. You're trying to make it be something that's not. It's never going to be that. Okay? She just needs to be slapped. That's what she needs. She needs a snap out of it. You're delirious. Like they do in the movies. Question number 21. This is a female. She's 18 to 21 age group. Summary of issue plus size dating. She's from Jackson, Mississippi. They have some big girls down there. I'm 21 and have such a fear of meeting men and them thinking that I'm too fat. I feel like my dating profiles reflect that I'm a curvy girl. I'm 5'3" and a little bit over 200 pounds. I recently, got a message from a guy saying, I love big girls. And ever since I've been insanely insecure to go out on dates. The guys I talk to are usually fit or skinny, and I'm afraid that I'll show up and they'll be disgusted with me. How can I get over this fear? I'm not really insecure about my looks because I know that I'm beautiful regardless, but my weight has been haunting me for a bit. Oh, is that it? Okay, well, I guess that's her question. That was short. Thank you. Um, if you got a message from a guy saying, I love big girls, I want you to understand something. Men have such just such different tastes. Have you ever noticed how some men go for like butts? Some men, just fascinated with women's chests or smiles or face, the whole thing. They like a tiny waist, that's way to go. Waist goes into hips that drives them crazy. Some men are just really into legs. So, I mean, they like certain body parts that they find more attractive than others. That gets their attention. Some men like really super skinny women where they got like them hollow gap between their thighs. They look like skeletons. And then there's men who want women who like, have a little bit more muscle, more like a fitness model type of shape. And then there's men who like bigger women. All you have to do is find a man who likes what you are. And it's on like Donkey Kong. And when you look around you, when you really look around at the women who are married and in happy marriages and stuff, most of them not skinny. Most of them are on the larger size because they feeding them, they cooking and they feeding the men, and the men is happy because they come home and they get to grub. So it satisfies a lot of their appetites, shall we say, by being married to that woman. So I want you to stop beating up on yourself like this and accept that everybody's not the same. All men are not the same. All men don't want the same thing. All men aren't attracted to the same thing. You're thinking like all men just have one kind of prototype that they admire and that they find sexy and beautiful, and that's just factually incorrect. So stop this. Don't stop beating up. If the man tells you I like big girls, you admit to yourself that you're big. So why are you trying to get offended by that? Don't get offended. If you're gonna be offended by your body size, then lose weight. That's the only two things you can do. Either you accept that you're a bigger girl, or you start dieting and exercising and lose some body fat. One of the both. One of the two. One of those two choices. That's it. That's all you get. There's no C here. Question number 22. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Pensacola, Florida. The male is 20 to 34. Some of issue. I'm starting to resent my boyfriend for not even thinking about marriage almost 3 years in. Hi, Deb. I'm 31. I've been dating my 29-year-old boyfriend for almost 3 years. He's extremely passive in a lot of ways, and I don't think he's really thought about marriage because the whole process stresses him out for a lot. Okay, fair enough. But for starters, I told him first when he first asked me out that I didn't believe in dating for years on end without marriage because I want to start building wealth together, etc. I had said I wouldn't wait longer than 2 years for a proposal because, in my opinion, if you don't know by then, we should just stop wasting each other's time. So you almost 3 years in, though. So you said two. Okay. I don't care about a wedding at all. I just don't want to spend money on that. We're just getting to a point in our lives where we're almost both out of school. He just finished grad school. I'm almost done. We're about to start making some real career moves, and I personally would not factor my relationship into any career moves I make unless I'm at least engaged. I also feel like it's unfair and toxic to give him an ultimatum of, okay, a proposal or I'm leaving. Normally things are amazing, but if he knew from the beginning of the relationship that I would walk out the door after 2 years and he would risk that because he would get stressed out over things easily, I don't understand what you just wrote. The reason why I didn't walk out the door right at 2 years is because it wasn't an ironclad, oh, I need to be married in 2 years. It was just me expressing that I eventually want to get married and that I'm not one of those people who's fine dating for like 7 years before it happens. So in bottom line, Deb, is it worth staying? Um, Probably for, since you already put almost 3 years into it, what's another few months gonna do? While you finish your grad thing and get a job. If he gets out of he just finished grad school, he's gonna have a job, you finish, you get a job, and he still hasn't proposed, that's the point at which you need to part ways. Because chances are on your new job you'll meet a lot of really fascinating, highly educated men, and that's gonna be it. You made your you paid your $10 men question. I'll answer it, but it's um it's $10 for tonight's show. $10 in super chat or cash app, either one. While you decide, I'm going to go on and read the next question. Question number 23. This is a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group from Camberley, Surrey, England. Sort of issue. My little brother got into his first relationship, and I just don't like this girl because she is manipulative and a bad influence. This is my little brother's first real relationship with a girl, and he has classes with her. She's a year younger than him. He's 16, she's 15, and is our next door neighbor. I don't think they really interacted much besides making lovey dovey eyes at each other and small talk. Only a weekend, and they are already having problems. She gets intoxicated every week at 15 and does D's while my brother steers clear away from all of that because of what happened to our parents. We lost both of them due to their addictions. He has often had episodes of anxiety whenever he is around them. He is becoming more manipulative. She is becoming more manipulative and even wants for him to partake in these activities with her, even trying to get him to sneak out. Her group of friends isn't much better. They are rude and incredibly mean. This is my brother's first year in a new town and a new school while finally having stability at my grandmother's house after she got custody for him. He spent 4 years in foster care system before coming home. So it's been really hard for him to adjust, but he's been doing okay with keeping himself busy after school activities and sports. I'm 21, but I really don't know how to approach this topic with him. I understand he's young and needs to learn for himself without me and always trying to protect him from bad influences, but I can tell he's getting tired of this. He battles depression and is going through puberty where he gets upset often but doesn't release it. I really don't want this to become a downfall for him. Can I suggest a therapist? Would he refuse and hate me if I talked to him about this? He stonewalls every attempt at speaking about the events that made us become separated. And then she put a long story in between about what that was, and has always performed in a stoic and unfeeling manner around us. I just really don't want this to become his downfall, even though I know this is only a small gear in the big picture. What do I do? Is there even anything I can do? She's been making manipulative public posts on Facebook. Could I get her parents involved? I would absolutely do that. I would absolutely do that. And say, the fact that your daughter is trying to get my brother to sneak out and do, drink and do deed things with her, I want you to keep your daughter away from my brother. Because otherwise, what we're going to have to do the next time I catch her doing any of that kind of stuff, I'm going to call the police on her. So you better think about that. I don't want that kind of influence. I don't want that around my grandmother, and I don't want that around my brother. So you figure out what you're going to do about your daughter and keep her away from both of the people in my family that I care about and that she's going to have a negative influence on. So I would have taken that approach as the big sister, please. I would have been dropped that dime and been all up in them people's house telling that little girl what you better not do, because then you're going to have to deal with me. And I'm not I'm not 15. I will whoop your ass, little girl. Stuff like that. And she's like, well, I'm my friends. It's like, yeah, but all my friends are in their 20s too. So don't you think we can still beat your ass? It's going to be 6 of you. It's going to be 6, 12, 18 of us. Bigger, stronger, and more experienced at fighting and kicking ass, little bitches' asses. So you ain't going to, it's not going to end well for you. I suggest you go in your house and figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to be leaving my brother alone. That's what you need to do. Like, my cousin Joy, she's a savage. These two girls, these two sisters, they tried to beat up her daughter. Oh, their daughter was about 14, you know. And they gonna call themselves, threatening her. They came to Joy's house and talking about come outside so we can beat you up and stuff like that. So of course the girl, told Joy. And so Joy looked up to one of the little girl, so my cousin. Man, her hands, I mean, her hands are heavy. It's like when she hits you, it's like the Hulk hit you or something. It's just unbelievable. And so she goes over, the little girl see her come out and she starts following them. So she followed them home. So then she beat on the door and everything. The mama come out and now the neighbors, there's like the name my Joy is like, your daughters are gonna be trying to jump my daughter or something. I will kick both of these little bitches' asses. And so the woman's like, you're not gonna be, so the neighbors start coming out, right? Because my cousin, you think I'm crazy. She's just like way out there, like Mars level crazy. And it's about her daughter. And it's two of these big old husky girls, and her daughter's skinny and like thin, and then she would have been snapped in two. I mean, it just was not gonna be a good situation. And so the mama gonna come out and try to get in her face. So Joy takes that heavy hand and she's a woman pushed her. That was a fatal mistake because Joy took that 20-pound hand and whopped that woman, and the woman went flying to the thing. And the name, and she didn't even really hit her that hard. She just whopped it. But I'm telling you, her hands are, it's just heavy. It's like a wall hitting you when she does it right. And so the neighbors was out there, so everybody witnessed the woman, shove her back first. She put her hands on her first, so she's defending herself, right? Then the two daughters gonna try to get in, and she Joy beat everybody's ass. All three of them just laid out there. Police come, the neighbors like, "Ooh, she did it, she did it." She was gonna, they were gonna. So the neighbors told it all, so they all got arrested, and Joy and her daughter went back home. They didn't mess with her no more after that, because they didn't want no more of that. They want no more of that smoke and them heavy ass, them like anchor weight hands. Yeah, it was a live show. This was a live show, but I'm talking about a live show. But yeah, that I remember that. That was just horrible. That was the talk of the town. The whole, yeah. So them people, but certain people, like she's that kind of mother. Don't threaten her children. She will lose her goddamn mind. She would just go crazy about her kids. I just never see anything like it. So they threatened. They had the nerve to come to her house to try to tell her daughter to come outside so they could jump her. They didn't do that at. So they ended up getting their ass kicked. Their mama got her ass kicked. Everybody's ass got kicked. So, the police just came. They just looking at the bodies all felled and neighbors telling it like, neighbors was telling, singing like canaries, just telling it all. So, no, they didn't get in no trouble. I thought it was pretty amazing, but I know them hands, because, she's accidentally touched me with them and just like doing something. You know how people be talking, they be like, ah! And they tap you like that. I thought my shoulder was going to fall off. Like, I could just imagine she was doing it with some force. I was like, oh hell no. Let's move on. Enough of my stories. Question number 24. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Newbury in Berkshire in the UK. We've been getting a lot of UK letters the last couple of weeks. Third issue. I am really struggling with my partner smoking. Yes, girl, justice was served. Hi, ladies and Deb. I really appreciate some guidance and support here. I'm 24 and I am really struggling. My boyfriend is 34 and he smoked for years before I met him. He quit completely several years before that, and we've been dating happily now as non-smokers for about 5 years. Okay, that's too long, but whatever. I've always admired him for how much strength it must have taken for him to quit. I know it's not easy. I tried it before, but I just personally don't like anything about it. But recently he started smoking again. It started with sharing a cigarette offered by friends when we'd be out drinking. But last week he bought a pack of his own. The last few days, he's had about 5 or 10 cigarettes a day. I know that's considered light smoking, but I feel like that's ramped up pretty quickly to have happened in only a few days, and it's scaring me. I'm trying to be supportive as he's highly stressed lately, and it's clearly something he feels he needs right now. I would never ever want to tell him what to do. I just love him so incredibly much, and it's just breaking my heart watching him start this destructive cycle, knowing there's nothing I can do about it. I've never gotten angry or upset with him over it, but I am fighting hard to hide how sad it's making me. He knows it's making me sad, but he's choosing to do it anyway. I guess that hurts somehow. I feel like he's taking years off of his life right in front of me. Am I overthinking this and overreacting here? Is this really no big deal? My question is, what should I do? Should I remain supportive and loving but try to get this to stop? I'm just feeling extremely depressed about it and could use any advice possible. Well, I mean, it just sounds like, this is what happens when people have addictions, though. See, you think because, he stopped and he stayed off. I mean, there's people that stay off for 5, 6, 8 years and then they get that one hit and it's on like Donkey Kong all over again. So that sounds like what's going on with him. He's ramped up from 0 to 10 per day in just a few days. So that's going, and he's still stressed. That's his excuse. He's using is going to go even higher. Now, this is what you have to ask yourself. Okay, so he's using the stress situation as an excuse. Once the situation has resolved itself, how's he going to handle his stress? What if the situation does not resolve itself? How is he going to handle everything? Those are things you have to ask yourself. You have to also ask yourself, well, this is the man that I love, and now he's smoking. Can I stay with him if he's a smoker? Or do I absolutely insist that I must be with a non smoker? For me, it would be very simple. I don't care how much you love. I would love him. I love my lungs more. I had asthma really bad as a little kid. Like in kindergarten, I missed more classes than I went to. Luckily, my mother, was like very smart, so she worked for me. So I didn't lose any traction or anything. I actually went to first and second grade ahead of everybody else because of the work my mother did. But I'm just talking about the asthma factor, the lungs, the irritations of smoke. I couldn't handle it at all. And so to this day, the number one thing that gets me sick, when I get like any kind of sickness and stuff, 90% of the time it's something to do with my lungs, like bronchitis. I had pneumonia before, chest colds. It's always this part of my body. So I'm very sensitive to that. And I would never, ever be with a man who smokes, ever. I just can't do it. Can't do it. It would be putting my very life at risk. And I'm not willing to do that for anybody. So, those are decisions though that you have to make. You have to really think about how you feel about him. If this stays the way that it is now, can you live with him like that? If the answer is yes, then you just stay and just deal with the fact that you accepted a smoker into your life. And then don't you write nobody else and don't you complain ever again. But if you come to the conclusion that no, that's really not what I want, I don't want to do this, then you know what time it is. And you just have to tell them, I really try to be supportive of you and stuff, and I can't do this anymore. And you don't owe him that because all you are is somebody he's been dating for 5 years. You're not his wife. Remember that. You don't need to step into wife role for somebody you're not married. Too many of you women do that. You start treating these men like your husband, and they're not. As a matter of fact, I have a video like that. I'm gonna link to it too up here after the show. So let's move on to the last question of today, which looks like it's hella long. Oh my God, it's long. So before I do that, anybody have a question? This is your last chance. If you have a question that you want to get answered tonight, this is the live advice question. I might have to stop doing these because people don't be asking no questions. It's like, why am I bothering? Just do my questions and leave it alone. Let's move on to the last question of the day. Number 25, female, 22 to 27 from Houston, Texas. Male, 22 to 27. Summary of issue. I love my boyfriend, but his family's financial issues make me question our future. He's my best friend. We're both 25. We've been together for 3 years and we've known each other for a decade. We went to high school together, but we didn't date then. He's been here for me through so many hard life moments and knows me better than anyone in the world. We talk about marriage often, and I'm certain we'd have a happy life together. So what's the problem, you say? Well, recently my boyfriend's father left the family, leaving his mother in a financially precarious position. She's in her mid 50s, has never worked, and now faces a difficult job market with little work experience. There's no certainty that she'll receive alimony. The father is narcissistic and will do anything in his power to avoid paying her. He also claims he's broke. Well, the courts will figure that all out. Oh, hey, Sliver, did you have a question? Or she just saying thanks? I just think. And she lives in a high cost of living city in California. Okay, so y'all in Texas, Houston, and the mother is in somewhere in California. My boyfriend has an older sibling who's also struggling to gain financial stability in a different state. Oh, okay. Thank you then. Thank you. I appreciate that. My boyfriend and I have worked hard to build up financial stability. We save and invest diligently, planning for our future. While I'm so proud of us, I can't help but worry about our future. Knowing his mother's financial situation weighs on me. She's unlikely to have access to any retirement savings, and I'm concerned about how she'll support herself. My boyfriend is very close to her, and I know he'll help financially if she needs it, and I understand and admire his generosity. But I can't shake the anxiety over the possibility of us, if we were to ever marry, becoming financially responsible for her, not only soon, but also as she ages. While his sibling says they will help with the mother, their financial history suggests this not to be relied upon. My boyfriend is much more financially responsible. Also, I should note that his mother's trying her best to find work and doesn't want to be a burden. The realist in me feels that it's unlikely she will find a job that makes a sufficient income. Well, she can work at Walmart. What I mean, it's not gonna be sufficient because they don't have no experience and she's too old. It is what it is. I love my boyfriend, and his mother and siblings have been nothing but kind and loving and welcoming to me, but this is not how I pictured my life. I've always wanted financial independence and freedom, and I worry about how this mother's situation could impact that. How will we afford children, travel, a wedding, a house? And if he hasn't helped his mom keep up with her bills and then eventually take care of her when she can't work due to age, and while I care deeply about his mother, I struggle with the idea of potentially living with my future in law one day, if that becomes the most financially feasible option in her older age. I feel torn. Do I break up with someone I truly love because of future responsibilities that we may not be ready to handle? We. Or should I stay optimistic, encourage him to focus on building financial security, and hope we can make it work despite these challenges? Is it realistic to hope that we could build a happy life together under these circumstances? Or would it be kinder to let him go so he can focus on his own stuff while I work toward a life of my own? I'm an overthinker and naturally anxious person. I don't want to make any decision based solely on irrational fear and risking out on a good life from a loyal and caring partner. I just need a sounding board. What would you do in my situation? Okay, let's go back over this because you just, ugh. All right, let me start at the top. You're 25, you've been together for 3 years, and he's been there for you, and we talk about marriage and all this old stuff here. Okay, so the father left the family and left the mother. She's in her mid 50s, she's never worked. She don't have no work experience. There's no certainty she will receive alimony. That to channel, what's his name? Jerry Singer, whatever his name is. That was a lie. Because okay, both Texas and California are community property states. The fact that if they owned a house, they had cars, they had bank accounts, they had anything, then what y'all should be doing is getting his mother to an attorney as quickly as possible so the attorney can shut that shit down and we can pull out her half, put the house, make sure the house goes up for sale, any retirement accounts, put liens on that so she gets her half of his retirement, all that kind of stuff. So you worrying about the wrong thing. You should be helping the mother figure out what she needs to do so she can be whole at the end of this divorce. But y'all not doing that. You run around like Chicken Little, just sitting around that stupid. This don't make no damn sense. How do people be living in this day and age and you don't know this basic shit like this? You sitting up there talking about it's not guaranteed. Yet the hell it's not. As long as he got some money and a job, that's what she gonna get her half. Because now, if it was any other state, now I don't know what, but I know Texas because I lived there. I know California because I lived here, and they're both community property states. I know this for a fact. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. You all up on some bullshit. Okay, so then he claims he's broke. It don't matter. Once the courts get a hold of you and they dig knee deep into your financial history, they will get to pull your credit cards, your driving record. They will pull everything, your cell phone bill if necessary, to see any kind of way you might be trying to hide money with other people. Girl, they just go knee deep in your business if it comes to that. So unless he wants all his business exposed, he would do better to just unask that money. That's what he would best do. So yeah, she gonna get half, and then they'll have to sell a house, and she'll get her half of that. She'll get half of his retirement. She'll get half of whatever's in the bank account, minus whatever he's pulled out because she's dumb and just sitting there not doing nothing. Okay, and y'all stupid because you ain't helping her, guiding her to do anything. It's just a bunch of dummies. Okay, so then you talking about, well, she's gonna have retirement and how's she gonna support herself and this and that. Okay, don't were you dropped off a plane from Mars? How'd you get here? Don't you have parents? So everything that you whining about his mother, the same shit could apply on his end from about yours, right? So this is the reality of being a kid. When you looking at your parents are aging, at some point you're going to be called in to provide some assistance. It could be financial, it could be physical. I mean, they might need to move in with you. You just never know. You don't know how this is going to be. Yeah, the first thing to do when somebody leaves you like that is to pick up the phone and say, I needed a divorce attorney. I want you to file a bifurcation. That's what the term is. As of this date, we are separated, and these are our community assets. I want my half. Then the attorney will pick up the phone, call. Most of them have investigators on staff, and they will look into it. They will like, do you know his social security number? Where does he work? They get you that. They get all the information, right? They reach out to the employer. What's the retirement account number? What company do you guys use for your retirement? They file all these documents. Everything is filed because everything gets shut down so that he can't pull nothing out unless he pulls her half. But the only way that happens is if you step up and get her help. Because she sounds like she don't have no game. She don't know what's going on. And she just kind of shell shocked probably that she got left. That's what she needs you guys to say, this is what we're gonna do, step A, B, C, D, to make sure you get what you're owed. So even though she may not, she'll probably have to take some kind of little CNA course or some little course or something so she can get a job. But because she's only in her 50s, so she got another at least 10 years to work. And then that'll give her enough time to bank up some Social Security and stuff. Won't be a lot, but it'll be better than nothing. This is unfortunate. You worried about kids and travel and all this other shit, and his mother about to be destitute on the street. You're not worried about her. You worried about yourself. The thing that really bothers me the most, though, is that, this is just a boyfriend. You're not married to this man. So you moving away from him so he can focus his energies on helping his mother get situated is appropriate, in my opinion. It would be inappropriate for you to be putting any demands on him to talk about some future that y'all don't even have because you ain't engaged, you ain't married. It's not even, you talk about it some vague, esoteric way, but he hasn't proposed. There's no ring on your finger. There's no date set. So he's not your fiance. Okay. There's no pending marriage here. It's just pie in the sky, like words y'all done tossed around. The reality is that's his mother. She needs him right now. Somebody in that family needs to step up to the plate to become the ringleader and have everybody else tell him what their role is going to be. Now, I don't know if he's the youngest or oldest. That part I don't know. I don't remember. You may have said it. But whoever's the best leader and thinker of that group of siblings is the one who needs to take charge so they can make a united front to get that mama protected and situated and and have a force field against that father who think he's gonna get away with some dirt. That's how you do it. Okay. Stop thinking about your future that you don't even have nothing written down in stone, nothing. It's all pie in the sky, fantasy, romantic dribble. What's real is his mother's situation. So if you're not gonna really help him with that, stop worrying about your future that you kids and travel and all houses and all stupid shit. If you can't help him situate himself to focus on getting his mother situated, then you're not wife material, no way. So you just go on over there somewhere and do what you need to do. It just out of the kindness of my heart, whether I was dating somebody or not, I would step up to help that old lady because that's just the right thing to do as a human being. If you have the knowledge and the skills to help somebody come out on top when somebody's trying to fuck over them and you don't help that person, well, then what does that make you? See, so that's why I'm giving you the side eye like, you talking about yourself. You ain't saying shit about what you could do to help him with his mama. All you do is worry about yourself. So, I'm trying not to go off of you because I'm tired and I'm hungry and everything, but I'm just looking at you and the way you wrote this letter, and I really think it would be in his best interest for him to dump your ass and move on to somebody else who understands what family and teamwork is, because you don't seem to get it. And you act like your ass was hatched from an egg or some shit and flew dropped down from Mars, and like nobody's gonna have to be facing that same situation with your aging parents. So, something, I don't know what it is, something about you is just rubbing me the wrong way. So I'm just going to leave that here and we are going to close out this show and we're going to move away from all these crazy people tonight. This was a doozy. All right. But yeah, you guys check out. I'll put this up here because some of you wasn't here. Check out. I'm gonna put some of my things up. Okay, I got this one. I've been doing like shorts. I got shorts of the yin yang. So y'all go check those out on the channel. And some of them are too long to be shorts, but they're like 3 or 4 minute videos. We got this one talking about the concept of wives and uh, how these can relate to each other. And then this one just went live earlier today, the difference between dating somebody and the talking to phase. So a lot of y'all get confused about that and you want to be calling dudes your boyfriend and all this old stuff here. And it ain't even that kind of party. And the dude be like, what you talking about? I never said that you was mine. We ain't dating like that. Okay? So if you have a question and you want to send it in for the next show, yes. Well, yeah, sometimes it is on Wednesday, isn't it? It used to be. But anyway, this is it. Did you log on to the website at debsterism.com/get advice? There's a tab that says get advice. So that's the page that you would navigate to. Complete the form, fill out all the fields, please, and then press send. My lovely cousin Candace will review all the submissions for each week, and then she puts 25 of the ones that she chooses into a document, and that's what I read on the screen and give answers to. Okay, so there you go. That's what we're doing on this show. I will see you all very, very soon. We're going to have a show before Thanksgiving, so be ready. Okay, probably be a little bit longer than 25 questions. Just going to have to hold y'all over. Okay, don't eat too much this weekend. I'll see y'all later.